Hello. In this video we're talking about is physical media dying? Not again. How many times do I have to see it get hit by a train only to find out the train was a ghost and it's Ghostbusters 2? Anyway, physical media, it's a dying. What's going on with that? Hey. Obviously this has been constantly prompted with the factor of Disney removing themselves from a lot of countries, including Australia. Best Buy going kaput. Was it Best Buy that went kaput? No, Walmart? Yeah, that's the one. I gotta keep track of all these goddamn American stores that I don't buy from because I'm in a different country. There's always debates and conversations about this kind of thing, and again, it's popping up again on Twitter, so it's like, oh, I'm sure I can talk about it on a video, why not? I don't make tweets. What am I, a loser? Sorry, guy. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it's not. Physical media isn't dying. Sure, it's not selling as well as it used to. General market stuff isn't selling as well as it used to because general audiences are going for streaming over physical media. But you know what's doing really great? Boutique labels. People kind of seem to forget about that. Like the boutique labels, it's a war zone. Like the amount of labels that are here and there and everywhere, they're releasing stupendous results with their 4Ks and their standard Blu-rays and their box sets and whatever. From Criterion to Imprint to Arrow Video to Second Sight to Synapse and Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome is doing a masterful amount of stuff. There are so many amazing brands out there in different countries. There are even German brands who release media books that get like 4K UHDs ahead of like everyone else. It's insane. It's almost like people are so accustomed to, hey, my standard store that's really small is not available with the Blu-rays anymore. What's going on? Did that rhyme? I don't know. But like, there's so much of a narrow focus on what's available to you as the individual. Like the immediate stuff. For me in particular, it will be if I went to a JB Hi-Fi, which is a local store in Australia that sells Blu-rays and DVDs and CDs and vinyls and also home appliances, because why not? And that for us in Australia is kind of taken a Best Buy kind of result, where it's like they're not getting rid of physical media, thank God, but it is reducing. Some stores have it, some stores don't, and it's a bit of an in-between. The stores that do have it, the shelves are getting smaller. There's less physical media and more, hey, do you guys like pop vinyls? Those Funko Pops that haven't been popular in like 10 years? Here's 1,000 of them, and they're all on reduced to clear sale because no one's actually buying them. What a great investment. That's becoming a thing. But I've noticed, obviously, where you're having a boom in vinyl releases and even CDs and that kind of physical media. I think cassettes are coming back. Some people are fucking brain dead. But like, vinyl I can appreciate. CDs I can appreciate. But Blu-ray's taking a nosedive because of streaming. It's such a weird contrast. Because again, you've got stuff like Spotify and YouTube Music and so many other, like Apple Music and whatnot. Like, if music's so readily available on the streaming, then why is sales on vinyl and CD going up? It's also probably the factor of vinyl so goddamn expensive, yet people are happily buying it, which I think is ridiculous. The price has been so high, I think is ridiculous. I would love to buy vinyl, but it's too expensive a hobby. I say that because it's like, I'm pretty happy to either stream music or buy CDs, and I buy a lot of CDs. So it's like, I'm content. Like, I don't need a vinyl. I'm good. I mean, I have a record player and everything. I don't really need to use it that often. We've got plenty here, and a lot of it is original stuff that's like 30 to 40 to 50 years old. But with Blu-rays and DVDs and the 4Ks, is it really dying? Like, this is a constant goddamn debate. Is it dying? Is it not dying? Does it matter? Like, there's always going to be that thing of, oh, well, when it all dies, and then we won't be able to get Blu-ray movies anymore and TV shows, and what are we going to do? It's like, there are other people selling it. The boutique labels, the ones who are like the backbone of what physical media is now, the ones who are pioneering what's coming next in terms of quality of transfers, quality of special features, quality of packaging and extra booklets and stuff. The stuff that some of these brands are doing is insane. Sure, there's minor quality control issues with some of the discs, whether it be scratched discs or just incorrect audio or incorrect video transfers. Sure, quality control isn't perfect, but that's like a minute thing in contrast to the rest of it. And the rest of it is exceptionally broad and exceptionally well produced. So sure, you won't probably be able to get your latest Marvel movie with a lot of ease. Probably you will, because it's Disney and they will still sell in America, and you'll still be able to get it for a $700 price tag. You want that for the Marvels? I'm sure you do. But in contrast to your standard movie, probably not. I was really surprised when I found out that When Harry Met Sally was a Shout Factory release. It might have been Shout Select, but still, the fact that it's a boutique label in the US releasing what I would consider to be a very common film. A common enough film because I have a DVD release. A lot of films that I have from boutique releases are not common films, and despite maybe having a VHS or really shitty DVD release in the past, they're not really as common to me. I don't know. I've got to kind of mind the headspace for it, where I'm like, that's a weird movie to come out from a boutique label, but then sometimes not. Kindergarten Cop getting a Kino 4K release is like, shit, alright. I guess nobody wanted to make Kindergarten Cop, and maybe these guys were just like, we'll do it. We'll do a 4K UHD, whole new restoration, some audio commentaries, not much else, but, you know, something. They did, what is it, Shout Factory did Point Break. Like, it's weird. These are big films with big named actors. Like, this isn't like, this isn't the little people stuff, you know? This isn't a random, Giallo from 1973. Like, this is Point Break. This is Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. People have heard of these movies. Sure, it's still common American populist, big Hollywood movies, but still, the big Hollywood movies are going to boutique brands now, and they're getting good transfers and mediocre packaging because it's still like American Blu-ray cases with their really slim cases and then cardboard sleeves to make it look pretty. But I just got those two in today, so they're my best example. Like, oh hey, look, Point Break, it has like old featurettes from the DVD on the Blu-ray disc and just a new 4K scan, but no commentaries. So it's a bit lackluster, but still, that's pretty good, you're still getting these films, which are fun, great films, arguably all-time classics, depending on who you ask, getting great remasters and getting great presentations. You don't get a standard release of that, unless it's like a big company being like, yeah, we will invest the money to put into this. And they're not. There's less and less of it. Like, what is being made is still pretty good, but what is coming out in general is delayed and then maybe not coming out and then rumored to come out. I don't know. It's always a weird time because then you compare standard releases to 4K, the boutique releases, and people saying, we want this 4K, we want that 4K, but then getting standard releases. Just a standard 4K remaster on a disc, which isn't standard per se because it's still a 4K remaster. But yeah, I don't know. From a personal standpoint, from what I've been seeing over the past year, 6 months to a year, since Best Buy announced that they were closing and stuff like that, since Disney left Australia, physical media is still there. Sure, I don't go to JB as much anymore. I'm even on the Facebook page, and most of us seem to be waiting for sales rather than actually just buying the stuff flat out. But brands like Umbrella and Imprint are doing great work. So, they're starting to kind of triumph over standard releases of films. So, I don't think it's a time of worry and concern, because realistically, when isn't it? But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Does it matter? Blu-rays are still coming out. We're still getting monthly announcements from boutique brands. We're still getting announcements from other, big label, big companies like Disney and whatnot, saying, "Oh, we're releasing this, we're releasing that." When they stop, they stop, but for now it's fine. Like, sure, they might stop eventually, but then it might come back again. Might have a boom. Maybe that's not right now, but maybe think of it this way. The less money you're spending on the common film for the common company, and not on like Netflix and stuff, because obviously they kind of want to dissuade you into like, oh, we're not going to release physical, so you can buy our streaming service, or just, not actually own property. How about that? But then you can be like, well, all right, I'll put my money into stuff that I can own. Oh, look at this Criterion of Mean Streets. That'll be a good choice, there you go. So, as much as people are going to complain and constantly complain that it's dying, that what you're seeing in front of you, the entity that you love is becoming a ghost, no, it's actually joining the other ghosts, and they're actually still alive. They're just going over there, which is everywhere. So, yeah, I won't be one of those harbingers of doom and say the end is nigh and whatever the hell that guy says in the comics of Watchmen. That's not my shtick, I know I've made videos talking about that kind of stuff, but more or less for the dramatic purposes and the titles and the thumbnails. But at the same time, it's usually a commentary on relevant stuff, like Disney leaving Australia and whatnot. Yeah, I think as an overall, we're fine. Sure, movies aren't selling as well, Blu-rays and DVDs aren't selling as well as they used to, but I don't think it matters too much when the formats are getting so much better. And the boutique brands are doing so much better. And when you've got stuff becoming more niche and more boutique, then that's just what it is. For now, that's where it'll go. For those who really want to buy physical media, they will know where to go to find it. And eventually, it'll come back into the stores again because people will get tired of streaming services. They'll get tired of but it's only $1,700 a month to buy Netflix. And then I got to spend another $3 million on the rest of them. Or you could just buy the physical. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. That's all I've got for you. And I don't know, let me know if you think physical media is dying. I don't think it is, because just in the age of all these amazing boutique releases that we're getting, that's the real dead point to it. Boutique. It's such a great goddamn thing. I know it's a fancy name for it, but it's mostly just because of the packaging and the quality of the content. So because of stuff like that, I think we'll be fine. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. See you next time.